Are we live? Let me check the audio. Hello, hello. So I can. Successful. Into like a weird area. Cell service. It's not wanting to load this though. Not wanting to load this. Alright, we should be live. Time is 8:56, December 28th, 2024. We are approaching, or we're heading to, Vicksburg, Mississippi, ahead of a possibly dangerous day today. I would not rule out a few intense tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center said the same thing in their latest discussion. Some of the soundings that I am pulling from this environment are upper echelon for Dixie Alley at least. So if storm mood can do itself for today, we will be in for a pretty long night. I do think. Right now, um, I do see a few supercells that have kind of popped up in Louisiana. I think they've produced a couple of tornadoes actually, which is not all too common for the start of a deep south severe weather outbreak. It seems to have calmed down a little bit, but we still do have some of these kind of mini supercells over here. Not a whole lot of vegetation on these yet. One of the only issues that I see with today is a little bit more convection to the east than what was previously forecast. farther west, it's a little bit better, and there's just better moisture in general. This is really not what you want to see. Um, and now I say that, but most of today's environment is being pushed up by warm air advection. So what we could see is these storms move off to the north, and then intense surge of instability and moisture follow behind that before this line of storms gets into it. Um, and that's where prefrontal convection should develop across Mississippi and even over to Alabama. Some of the recent models have been suggesting. So a pretty dangerous day, I think, could be setting up, especially the farther east you go. I know the moderate risk encompasses quite a bit of Louisiana and into Mississippi. I think your real corridor of enhanced tornado potential will be a little bit to the east. Um, it will still include portions of south central Mississippi, but I would also extend it a little bit further into Alabama. Just the latest runs have been showing some prefrontal convection and even the line itself breaking up into embedded supercells. And with the environment that you have, this line in front of it, it's just pretty evident for you to get some pretty dangerous tornadoes probably. For Dixie Alley, anything above really 1500 mid-level Cape is sufficient for tornadoes and even some strong ones. Here we have well over 2000. I wouldn't be surprised if today's warm sector was approaching 3000 joules per kilogram of mid-level instability. 3 Cape as well. This is Cape in the 3 kilometer region. Nearing 200 is pretty much unheard of for this region. This number is even rivaling some of the upper echelon days that we've had in the Great Plains this year. So that is something that I think people are overlooking a little bit. The big factors that people were looking at this event being a little bit better than all of the other Dixie events that we've had previously are the ample low level lapse rates, and 6.5 does not sound like a whole lot, especially from some of the other days that we've had in the lower plains areas. But down here in this region, that number is crucial, especially as it approaches near 7 in some areas of Mississippi, and the farther east you go, pretty much. It's a little bit lower, but you've got a little higher share just to make up for the line that was probably placed forecast hour 8. Yeah, this area here. As you get into the night, this is, I think, 7 p.m. Central Time. You have these storms reaching out in front of the line, even some all the way up here in eastern Mississippi as we get into western Alabama. Pretty much every storm you see here could be capable of producing a tornado. We're kind of at that stage in the environment where shear is so strong that you'll really get some spin on any part of a complex that you're looking at. In this sounding, interestingly enough, we do have a little bit of a mix in the EML, which is pretty interesting. I'm not all too sure about this photograph being lined up well enough with this line. I think more in terms of when this line becomes a little bit more vertical rather than the slanted line here. That's when you get a little bit better tornado potential as we reach into Mississippi here. And then as we approach, this is probably like 10 p.m. here, a lot of convection now is shown here. And HRRR does not do a very good job with merging storms together. And so what I do think could be happening here is some of these storms may merge into the QLCS behind it, but then you'll get some renegades out along in front of this line, this cluster of storms, and then maybe this one that manages to overcome the slight EML in the atmosphere and sustain itself enough to be a full-fledged supercell out in front of the line. And that's one of the big problems that we could be seeing into tonight and early morning tomorrow. Is one of the main things, main issues or problems that we could be seeing for tomorrow. But as of now, it's just kind of a waiting game to see how this convection in front of us is, and I'll probably be with y'all here shortly. Hello, we are currently heading towards Vicksburg. Alright, I'm back. Can you hear me? I know my sound is broke. My sound's not broke. I just didn't turn it on. Hold on, give me a second. Alright, dude. Okay. What? What do you want me to? What do you want me to do? We're just driving to Vicksburg. Or we're actually. I gotta change it now. We're staying in Jackson. There you go. It's good now. No, I know it's good. I had it off for a reason. What I talk about. Here, I got you. Okay. See this? This is our risk. 15% hatch risk. I don't really like the placement. I would get rid of like most of Louisiana, honestly. Keep it to this kind of area. Maybe extend it a little bit farther to the north and east. 10% is pretty good. Actually, 10% you can also. I don't know why that's in Texas. Let's see. Mesoanalysis. Pretty surprised to see clearing in Louisiana. That could help with storms firing in the confluence bands, I guess. Ape's making its way up there. There's all this like garbage stuff over here though. That should clear out a little bit more, a little bit faster than what was initially expected. Of course, East Texas looks good right now. Shift eastward. Keep seeing people saying that there's a little bit more low-level jet than what was previously anticipated. The fact that it's being underdone is kind of insane, and the fact that we were getting tornadoes in lapse rates of 5 is also pretty insane. Actually, everything kind of sucks right now. I guess I didn't realize. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize how bad lower levels are right now. Yeah, there's more dry air over here than what was previously forecasted. I I had said a little bit about that, and then everybody was like, "Oh, it's gonna get overrun. Oh gosh, there's no EML. It's gonna be too messy." Uh, would you look at that? Yeah, a little bit of a stronger jet off to the west. This thing is stupid. I don't think I've seen numbers higher than 80. We might be able to see a 90 today. I know that was showing up on AM model guidances. Yeah, wind shear is pretty dang good already. Mainly only off to the north because that's where the trough is yet. We haven't really seen anything over here because it's 10 in the morning. Alright, let's see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think these would be robust after this scan if we're just looking at the environment with the forecast average 7. Yeah, the environment just to the south of those storms is what's being ingested into it. It's about as good as Dixie can get, pretty much. A bit of a warm nose. Wind is very supportive of a discrete mode. And then we just can transition to the east. We should see confluence bands out in front of the line. Uh, all this wind shear here, and it might even be stronger based on the current trends of the low level jet being a little bit stronger than forecasted from the HRR. This looks like a FV3 run. It's so cursed. I would say the wrap's important, but it's really not. The wrap is good for like a dry line event. The wrap is not good for Dixie events. This is probably mid, I say. Oh, these are loading now. Like it really matters at this point, but yeah, these clear off, and then this actually stalls a little bit more than what the other stuff did. I think I'm one of the only ones to notice the random southward trend at the very end of some of these. But yeah, it's way clearer, and normally the impasse models do a better job. So it'd be interesting to see. Anything going on? I know this is a big mess. I kind of hate all this. It's not too robust of convection to get rid of the environment, but judging by the fact that it's warmer advection, maybe it's kind of like a cancellation. I know it should clear out by midday though. Really the only like sustained storm in all of Louisiana is this. I was here in November of last year, right there. I was almost in a tornado here. Note this on certain models showed a very large swath of like a helicity track. Just because of hail, there's not a whole lot here. The environment's not that good. Let's go back to our little front camera here. Yeah, I thought Warn On Forecast system was running, and then like I saw some people sharing their screenshots of it, and it is locked in for December 28th at 17Z, but it's not like loading, so that's weird. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying it'll go high risk. That's a lie. That's such bait. I don't know. I think NatoCast is actually kind of highlighting the actually correct area. I think the moderate risk is a little bit too big, and I think the morning moderate risk was still a little bit too jump at the gun. I don't know why they looked at a high risk. Maybe they just said that to wound people up or something like that. I see no reason to do a high risk here. I think that's bait. Did I refresh? I refreshed like 10 times. I'll refresh again. I'm stuck at 17Z or UTC. It just says it's loading forever. Let me pull you back over to your delay. No, I don't know. You know Kyle Gillette? I don't know if he is like a worker or owner of that, but he has soundings. It looks like it's from that like kind of mainframe. Okay. This is the latest run. It has supercells actually popping up and developing out in front of the line a little earlier than anticipated. And they're a little bit more robust. I don't know if the environment is just better. Same. Ooh, look at that warm front trend off to the north, though. That's big. Any slight change is important. And I would say that looking at like model runs this late is like a problem, but it's really not. I think models are getting adjusted to what the actual environment is right now. I mean, that's that's producing significant tornadoes, probably. And this time is like, what would 19Z be? 0Z is 7 p.m., 23Z is 6, 22Z is 5, 21Z is 4, Z is 3. This would be at 2 p.m. Liking the look of 2 p.m. I don't know if I like continued warm air advection though. I don't see why it would be this strong still. At least the convective mode of it. Lapse rates, lower levels are still looking really good. It really is just looking continually solid. This is a mess, but this trough is low-key awful. What's good is that the low-level jet, I guess bad for the public, the low-level jet does kind of ramp up before. Actually, it would be good for the public if it ramped up before after dark hours. That's something that's pretty different, and the fact that it's like on the southeast side of the trough, you're still getting like almost due northerlies though, especially over here. Barbs are pretty much perfect. Got horrible lapse rates though. It's because I think that was contaminated. Yeah, I don't know. There's too much convection for you to get a solid look. This looks like a mess, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this was all embedded supercells. You can kind of make out the little bean structures there. You go to local, actually. I don't think they'll be as widespread as what this is showing. I do think this is happening. I think we'll see confluence bands actually do stuff, but these little bean structures through here, even like into the line, I don't think it'll be as crowded as this, but you have an environment that is easily supportive, even in like an embedded supercell, of pretty strong tornadoes. So I think a 10% was warranted for this area. I wouldn't put it any higher than that, but let's take a look. I don't know if I'm cutting out. I think the internet is suffering a little bit more as we head deeper into the jungle. Oh, this is one of the soundings I chose. Pretty supportive. Is my stream down? No, I'm fine. My stream is fine. Okay. There's just a little bit of a delay. I don't know if I'm back. Stream is rather delayed. Guess I can check. Okay. Yeah, see. This is like, these are incredible thermodynamics for like where we are. We have 3 cape in like excess of 175 joules per kilogram. Low level lapse rates of 7.2. We have surface based cape of over 3,000. Wind barbs are still good. We don't have it as much here because we're farther to the east. But as this propagates eastward, we will continue to have a better wind profile and the same uh, lower level thermodynamics. So it's a very, interestingly enough, in the entire area, entire one sector, very, very moist in this kind of area, and then it kind of backs off like the slightest warm nose. I think that's probably something to do with being near the Gulf Coast. I think I've seen that artifact before. But yeah, especially on some of these recent runs, it's just been consistently good at the lower levels, which is something that Dixie Alley struggles with. Again, I do think that some of these initial confidence bands or areas of warm air advection aren't being modeled to their fullest potential. I think it's working a little bit better in this one. You can see some semi-discrete supercells up here in Monroe. Some of them even able to produce updraft helicity tracks. Uh, let's go back to the regional. I assume I'm in better connection. This stuff is loading now. Uh, but yeah, I mean, we could see just a train of supercells out in front of this QLCS that's also producing tornadoes. Look at how favorable this is for tornadoes. Still a very minor warm nose. I wouldn't take that into consideration. 2500 mid-level cape, 175 3 cape, ample lapse rates, and a very favorable wind profile is about as good as it gets for Dixie Alley. It's easily a moderate risk environment. It's just the extent to like coverage from storms, pretty much, is the biggest takeaway. I'm still surprised they even went moderate risk in the morning outlook. Would have waited till maybe a midday. I would put it maybe now at this time. I still would have it a little bit further east. Let me see here. And I like. How do I? How do I draw? Can I save the image? Wait, I have an idea. This is big brain. Put it more. Whoa. Put it more like this kind of area. I'm not against Louisiana existing. I'm just geographically, storms will get their act together after they cross the Mississippi River. I don't know how much of that is actually true. I think a lot of that is because the low-level jet really kicks off after the Mississippi River. I think that's just kind of a coincidence. I mean, it may play a little bit of a factor into it, but I think just in this setup as well, the low-level jet will really ramp up to like up to 65 knots at 850 millibar, which somehow is not all that surprising for Dixie Alley, but that just adds to the urgency of this specific day. So, the enhanced risk, it would just look kind of weird. I think maybe that was their key. Just might as well put a moderate risk to fill in some of the space. But I really do think it could have been cut short, maybe a little bit to hurt here, maybe like here. I don't see this playing out near as well as over here. And then, I mean, I might even just like extend it a little bit to the northeast, especially from the recent runs that have gotten in range. I know this one wasn't too great, but still, you had several robust supercells that were in a pretty decent environment, and I think warm air advection is a little bit stronger than forecasted. That's just kind of how it goes. So you have a wind profile that's pretty insane. You don't have as good of lower level thermodynamics, but again, I think warm air advection is downplayed a little bit in terms of environment. That's what we had with Barnsdall. I think some of the soundings around that storm when it was happening were way more potent than what was previously forecasted, even day of. So, something to note there. Yeah, this is like this kind of photograph, uh, I know I can see similarities to Basefield. I think Rolling Fork had a similar photograph, like elongated, very deep layer like Dixie, but it also had, it was elongated like April 26th photographs were. And that's, I think, in most of this portion. Yeah, very impressive. In this run specifically, there's not a whole lot of prefrontal convection. HRR doesn't really like to merge storms together or depict that really at all. I feel like I'm always noticing like really long tracking helicity tracks in this kind of area of southeast Arkansas. I'm not really sure why. Environment, I guess, just kind of peaks. It looks kind of gross. I think it's strictly lower levels. We've got like high amounts of 3K. That's about it. I think this kind of photograph's kind of reminiscent of some cold core events we've had previously. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, jet will kind of ramp up toward the end as we, yeah, it's pretty uniform as we get into Mississippi. It almost outlines Mississippi, um, especially in this kind of frame. Uh, as we get into 0Z and 1Z, that'd be 7 to 8 o'clock. Um, is when stuff really starts pushing, and especially as the QLCS becomes a little bit more linear, like this, these. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we got EF2, EF3 tornadoes in this line, um, which is something that I don't really say. I'm not really sure I've ever said that I could see EF3 tornadoes in QLCS. Just look at how high up this warm sector gets to. Warm air advection really does its job quite well, and I mean, it could be even farther north depending on how this current convection is going on in Mississippi. Um, Current trends have it leaving or being weaker than forecasted. So this could be even up, even higher up towards here. We could actually be seeing QLCS tornadoes as far north as northern Mississippi here. Here is where our convection gets a little bit more sustained. It looks kind of like crap right now, but it always will. Anything new going on right now? That one storm. Just a big hailer, I guess. Yeah, it does appear like these storms are kind of dying down a little bit. I mean, it's warm air advection, and you have a pretty insane environment that's uncapped, so I'm not really sure what I would expect. I would also argue this has a little bit more than 2-inch hail. Or quarter size. That's what they have it at. They have it at quarter size hail. I don't know about that. But all that. That's a new one for me. Take a look at outside right now. This is my front windshield as we're heading into the more central and southern portions of Mississippi. We have a new tornado watch. Is it a new tornado watch or is it just a new mesoscale discussion? Did that just come out? Oh, it did just come out. No, it's just another mesoscale. Oh no, it is another tornado watch. In Texas, I couldn't care less about Texas. Expected. Yeah, surprised we actually have a tornado watch over there. Take a look at that. Waco, Houston area. I get the environment's good, but the storms look ruggedy. They're not rotating or sustain. That's kind of weird. Yeah, QLCS will go to overnight hours. I think damaging winds should probably be pushed to the east as well. I think somewhere. Just thinking again. Maybe cut off this kind of area because in this kind of area, especially in the recent runs, I don't know what the one on forecast system is going to say, but you are getting discrete convection for like an hour or two over here, and then it gets souped up by the line, and then you continue to have that, so you don't really get a uh, LCS that's really well formed until you enter this kind of area of Louisiana, and especially over here. I would keep this area kind of, or maybe even section it off a little bit because it breaks up as it enters Alabama. Yeah, other than that, it looks pretty good. I know a lot of people were talking about moderate risk not really being the best area. I think they're talking about this spot. I think they have the correct area highlighted. Um, but yeah, I'm not super sold on the western extent of it. I'd say it seems thrown in there. I think what the forecasters saw is that the greatest area is kind of giving up a lot of space for an enhanced risk. I have no idea why they mentioned a high risk. I mean, it didn't really look real high risky to me. I suppose it looked a little bit better convective wise in some of the earlier model runs we had. So this run is, yeah, this is when we had some longer tracking supercells through here. I'd say the environment's definitely improved since then. Now, what I will say is if we can get supercells to sustain themselves in western Louisiana enough to where they can root into the wind shear, they won't move north like is being depicted here. They'll take a little bit more of an eastward turn. Um, so, like if this were a supercell to actually develop and sustain itself through merging, it would move more like this, like up towards this area. This has it depicting like way northeast into like Monroe, which I just don't see happening. Same thing over here. I don't know how good the environment is over here. I think it's pretty good. The wind shear is lacking a little bit. Even then, you have I think 2 to 300 SRH. Yeah, 200. This is kind of where thermodynamics peak in this kind of area. Chase terrain, I think, is awful. Yeah, you're in a national forest. No thanks. I think the play is if storms do manage to fire over here and east northeast probably, this area is definitely at play. And then if you can get some of these warm air advection cells to actually develop themselves and moves northeast, uh, Jackson is kind of the play. is this I-20 kind of corridor here. It's pretty favorable. Actually, not bad of road networking through here. It's just you're gonna have a hard time chasing in these trees over here. There's a few areas where you could get some sparse farmland um, exposure. It's pretty far north. I would see maybe one of the stronger tornadoes. This kind of region here. I know some people are stationed as far east as Meridian. I don't know if I'd go that far. But yeah, it's looking uh, pretty dangerous today. Stuff like this look never happens. I'll see this view on H-R sometimes. It will never look this messy. I think 324 showed this once after the initial discrete supercells up here came through and kind of bowed out and then showed all this garbage stuff. I think what could happen is supercells sustain themselves in this area, a whole lot less of this convection here, and then they'll kind of merge into the line and become supercells themselves, like embedded. Which I think you can see in one of these runs, yeah, here, kind of like a shape from a supercell that was initially on its own up near Monroe. Jackson's probably going to get hit by something tornadic either way. Basically, this whole line could be dotted in tornado warnings, depending on if the wind profile matches well with the line orientation. Which, honestly, it's rare for Dixie, but this is very favorable. You can actually see stuff. Back. Stuff is going amazing right now, as you can see. I don't know. This. Sorry. This internet is quite immaculate in this area of Mississippi. I think I am back. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm back. So, once we get to Jackson, I will admit, I need to go to Best Buy. There's supposed to be a camera that is facing me in the interior of the car, and there's not. So we're going to stop by Best Buy and get an adapter to work for that. And then my mic should be a little bit better. Because right now I'm using a laptop mic and it's kind of, I think it's awful. I think I checked on my phone earlier. I know you can hear me. I think it's pretty low quality. I think the webcam will be higher quality. Should be higher quality. Like it matters a whole lot, but it's okay. Um, we're actually entering first kind of bands of rain that we were looking at earlier. All this warm air advection stuff is just kind of annoyingly in the way. I think it should clear out. It's awful, but it's bearable. Okay, it will be better after the Best Buy run. Okay. So I might have to end the stream as we approach Jackson, and then I'll get it back up and running with the actual stuff in a second. Yeah, a lot of areas are really starting to clear out right now. The open warm sector just kind of shifted east quite a bit. And I think got a little bigger. So where am I? I am currently west of Pickens. Currently west of Pickens right now. Which is not super far off from Jackson. I'm close to Yazoo City. Looks like Vicksburg's got blue skies. The fact that we have 4,000 surface-based Cape in Texas propagating northeast, and we're in December. Today will either be mid or outbreaks this year. It's all in Arkansas. Going to the southeast Arkansas. Radar coverage is so bad. It's probably just a hailer. Yeah, look at that hail spike. That's probably producing like 2, 3 inch hail. Is there a new warning on it? Yeah, baseball size hail. Baseball size hail on this storm near Arkansas. Destructive tag on it. This is heading towards Dermont, and it's between McGehee and Arkansas City. Will eventually, really, it just looks like it'll parallel the Mississippi River for the time being. There are storms west of that with hail as well, although much less of it. Gas is running. It takes like 10 light years, or 10 like, I don't even know. It takes forever to load. But it's arguably one of the better cams for convective stuff. So, doesn't it run off the edge bar? Someone told me that. I had a baseline on the edge bar. They just issued a new day one outlook. I think the moderate risk is larger. Moderate risk is larger. I think it's been extended northward. Kept for some reason. across Super Ocean. Interesting. So they're pretty confident. It is. So. Yeah, much larger. I think I mentioned that like 20 minutes ago. Update's taken a little while to reach their front page, though. Oh, there it is. Nope. Has yet to self other than the. I'm thinking that hail risk might be upped a little bit. It's the wind risk pushed east or up a little bit. Consider an upgrade to a high for this area, dude. I don't know what they're seeing. They must have like a time machine. They must be able to see the future. They'll be like, we didn't make it a high risk, so that they didn't think we were going forward in time. Because we're the only people that saw it. I don't know. I don't see any models depicting a high risk really. I don't even see current meso analysis looking at that. You have the latest outlook though. I still have the one from before. I am refreshing. Don't worry. Yeah, I do think photographs are a little bit more enlarged than what was previously anticipated, especially for the morning hours. Dude, I can't get this thing to update. It's still showing the same. It's in overview, but it's not. Oh, there we go. I have it. All right, let's see. I'll pull y'all back to here. Here's our latest little outlook here. Yep, wind updated. Kind of knew that was gonna happen, and it's like right where I was putting it. That's crazy. All right. Anyways, let's see what they have to say about extending it northward. Is there a final update at like 12:30 Central Time? Can you imagine they go high risk? They would only do that if these storms in Mississippi currently like vanished, or the front Texas stalled out a little bit more. It is some strong. This all looks about the same. A lot of this should still looks the same. Yeah, consider an upgrade for high. Will maintain the ongoing moderate. Strong long track tornadoes, widespread damaging winds are possible in this region. Yeah, it is looking pretty big. Still, I mean, oh, hello, hello. Uh, there you go. Yeah, this is still our main area of concern. I would I would still trim that a little bit just a little bit. Um, Everybody on Twitter is just gonna say they're making way for something. That's all they do. 2 p.m. We'll know by then whether or not. 2 p.m. is like when the event's happening, so it's so rare for Dixie. Normally it's like a nighttime. Mississippi, you gotta have the best internet I've ever seen. I know. Um, there's a tornado warning. We're gonna take a look at that. For some reason, I can't get terminal data for GR2. Been able to recently. Is radar down? Okay, I guess. Hold on. Oh, there we go. I think I'm back. I think I am back. Gotten it to work for now. Exit 108. Exit 108. Okay. Yeah, the lag is so bad. I have a hotspot. It's just Mississippi does not have the greatest cell coverage. Show, show our little superstar. Show, I like the tornado actually. It's pretty. Actually has a pretty decent mid level. I can check the terminal on my phone because for some reason terminal does not work here. This looks suspect. It's not in the right area though. No problem. The terminal is pretty insistent on tornado genesis. It's like it's right next to the terminal, Houston's terminal. Looks like might have had a touchdown. I don't really see any velocity, but that looked pretty tight. Ooh, that could be fallout of some sort. These were taken about 2 minutes apart from each other, so it makes sense why this is a little bit farther southwest. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, that looks like this looks like possibly a tornado. Not confirmed yet. Surprised to see this over here. It's just like a confluence band. That's weird. I think it's probably done producing after that though. These up here have a shot if they can merge into each other. Decent ZDR. This thing kind of came out of nowhere. You know what day was also doing this though? Was 324. I'm not gonna lie. 324 had initial supercells down here off to the west, and then in Texas had tornadoes down here near the Houston metro. So, just saying. Just saying. Yeah, that could be down. Drop in CDR leads me to believe. Wait for a little bit more confirmation. Makes sense to be a delayed thing though. You know what? I'm gonna turn this back camera back on. We have. Oh, there's the sun. The sun is coming out as we are approaching Jackson, Mississippi. This is not really what you want to see, especially at 11 o'clock. That'll give several hours of diurnal heating for this area. I'm not really sure what that is over there. Yeah, out in front of us, I mean, I can see air contrails, the blue skies above us. Um, so yeah, it is looking like we could see some daytime heating, and especially this little dry slot that's coming through here. So okay, we're gonna focus back in on this supercell here near Houston, which now has a tornado on the ground. With the Berkshire evident CC drop now. I don't think this is confirmed yet. It should be pretty soon. don't see a whole lot of upper level support. I guess there is a bit there. So this could go on for a little while at least. This will miss Houston Metro to the north. Next area line is Corville. If we take off the radar here, it doesn't really look like there's a whole lot in the way. There's a couple of farmland, a few neighborhoods just inside of this warning, but they won't be in line with the tornado. This tornado is moving off to the northeast. Latest scan does show it kind of dying out, though. It did kind of peak a little bit right here. Near 40 on VROT. Stay with the storm for at least a little bit. Good ZDR. It's got an impressive updraft. It's just not entirely alone. We're going to go back now to our camera here. We have some quite impressive clearing right now. We're approaching Jackson right now. So just a second. Yeah, the sun is pretty much out right now. We're facing south. Aside from around us to the south, it's completely clear. Yeah, facing southwest. So it is rather clear right now where we are. Right. The big updraft from somewhere to our east here. To the left. Yeah. the east side of the interstate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this was the tornado in Houston.
that?
It was in Houston.
You still up here?
Yeah. Probably gonna have to.
Mm-hmm.
Now the N is out. Yeah, the sun, not the N. Over here it's not, because this is Anyways, this is current convection moving off to the northeast. If you look, or if we look to our current, our east, but to the south, it is completely clear. Few, if any, updrafts. In front of us, it's a little bit cloudy, but right now it is, pretty clear. You can see the sun on the top right of the screen. You can come back this way.
Okay.
It's back that way.
Okay.
I'm much quieter. It's because I'm not talking over the the sound of the car. The current condensation level over here is low. It's pretty dang low. I don't think it's as low as maybe probably comparable to quite a few of the other Dixie Alley events we've had. But yeah, this is all clear out in front of us. You don't know what we're doing. We're trying to get to a Best Buy to find an adapter for our other camera. Stream will stop momentarily, but
It's over here.
let's see where we're at now. It's up to here, and then turn left. Again, yeah. And be in the right lane.
Okay. They don't allow signs this time.
No, I guess everybody that goes here was just grew up here. I guess. Yeah, see, yeah, left up here, and then it should be like
On the
it's,
right.
it's the second right that you can take,
Okay.
or the third right. Should be a big complex of stuff.
Okay.
Currently in a northern suburb of Jackson. Uh, yeah, Canton. Awaiting some confluence, man. So maybe intensify. I think that tornado west of Houston was fully condensed, if I saw correctly. I had a picture report come out. Oh, we had a hail report come out of that southeast Arkansas near DeWitt. Is that what that is? Oh, Dermot. Uh, Large hail in town to at least baseball size, some larger. It's moving into Arkansas City right now. Hail downgraded to 2 inches. So interesting stuff there. Yeah. This one up here. This one. Or this one. It should be one of these on the right here. So just pull into a parking spot up here. Looks like we already got spin ups trying to develop north of Shreveport. And there's actually some supercellular development to the east of Shreveport as well.
There's great.
There we go. I have to turn off the stream for a little bit. We can just end it and restart it.